For weeks, we have been investigating a local daycare.
Now, after our first report on Rosewood Academy, police charged 3 people with child abuse, and now the daycare is closed until further notice.
We talked to a mother whose child was injured while attending that daycare. She says she just wants to know what happened and says state officials are not helping.
I don't know what more I could have done differently.
Mandy Everett thought she did everything she could to keep her child safe. Before the pandemic, she made unannounced visits and talked to the teachers. She knew the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services was responsible for inspecting and licensing daycares, so she regularly checked their website as well.
I watched that like a hawk.
But none of the online inspections at the Northwest location of Rosewood Academy showed any substantiated claims involving child abuse. The one item that was substantiated involved children being left alone outside. When that happened, DHHS filed a corrective action status, which needed to be posted in a prominent location at the daycare facility. According to licensing requirements, any applicable status or amendment should be prominently posted and clearly visible in the child care area. Mandy and other parents we spoke to say they never saw it.
I haven't been allowed inside my daughter's daycare since essentially the beginning of COVID for obvious reasons.
Then in March, a COVID outbreak happened at the facility. Mandy's daughter tested positive, and parents started talking about other issues they believed were happening at the daycare's 3 locations involving employees and one of the owners, Carl Hansen.
It's terrifying.
We found an interim licensing agreement that was signed in February between the owners and DHHS, stating Carl Hansen was not allowed to be alone with childcare children until an investigation was complete. This agreement was also supposed to be prominently posted, but this time it said it should be clearly visible to parents. Again, Mandy and other parents say they never saw it.
From a communication perspective, that element just was missing this entire time.
On April 8th, Carl Hansen and 2 former employees were charged with child abuse by neglect, no serious injury. 1 day later, Nebraska DHHS issued an emergency order closing all 3 locations until an investigation was complete. This order stated an emergency existed that required immediate action to protect the physical well-being and safety of the children. The order also sealed all evidence related to this matter.
It makes me feel like a failure as a mom to know that I'm putting my child in this situation, that this could be happening.
Mandy can't help but think about what happened shortly after her daughter started attending Rosewood.
I just immediately went back to the 3 different variations of the story I received with her broken arm and said, no, I don't feel safe.
On August 29th, 2019, Mandy's 2-year-old, Henley, broke her arm in 2 places. The teacher, facility director, and Henley all said she fell from a slide, but Mandy says they all had different versions on how she fell.
At this point, I really just want to understand what's the official record of, how this incident went down.
Mandy asked DHHS for a copy of this report. The department said when a child is injured and they do not see any evidence of a licensing violation, the information is forwarded to their Lincoln office for statistical purposes and filed away. They said under Nebraska DHHS regulations, they cannot release internal department correspondence, notes, and investigation reports.
What hasn't surfaced yet, or what reports are still active or ongoing that we just don't know about.
Mandy's mother-in-law now watches her 2 kids, but Mandy still has unanswered questions, including if she could have done more.
You're trying so hard to make the best decision for your children, and it's unfortunate that even when you try to do everything, something can still slip through the cracks. It doesn't make you feel good.
A hearing on the emergency order was scheduled for last Friday. Rosewood withdrew its request for a hearing, and that means the order will remain in effect until DHHS's investigation is complete. For more on this story and to see all of our reports on Rosewood Academy, just visit our website, 3newsnow.com. And if you have a story idea, email it to investigate@3newsnow.com.